So Gyarados, I like Gyarados, especially, I don't know, Gyarados just has the like, I'm gonna destroy everything feel, which is kind of what he does, which is part of the reason I like him. But he has 125 attack and 100 special defense, which is, the special defense is actually kind of good with the 100 special defense and 95 health. It's a good combo for, he can take like a good special attack. He can pretty much take any special attack that's not electric, because electric shreds him. 79 defense and 81 speed's decent. 60 special attack is bad, but doesn't really matter because he's not a special attacker. And he's water flying, which is a decent typing, because you're weak to rock, which is common, and you have a 4 times weakness to electric, so you'll get one shot by electric and some strong physical rock moves. So like a Stone Edge, from a really strong Stone Edge will one shot, but and any pretty much electric, especially a physical electric. But it gets pretty good because you're immune to ground and you have a decent amount of resistances, with fire, water, and steel being the main ones. Fighting and bug aren't bad resistances, but they're not as common, I would say, as the other 3. But back to Gyarados. This is the one way I like running them, is max attack, max speed, adamant, and just Dragon Dance. Because the Intimidate pretty much guarantees you're going to survive. The Intimidate could get you up to 2 Dragon Dances, especially if you can Intimidate and they have to switch out, and they don't switch to an electric. You can get 2 Dragon Dances and pretty much just sweep there. I wouldn't... It's risky doing for 2 because of the Life Orb, because the Life Orb will could take you out too early. But Dragon Dance, Intimidate, pretty much. Waterfall is your stab. Gyarados, that's one thing Gyarados doesn't have, is a strong flying. Like, flying doesn't have many good like physical moves other than like Brave Bird, but he doesn't learn Brave Bird, and he's like flying, and it's kind of weird because he doesn't really learn any flying moves other than bounce. But and then Crunch and Earthquake for just coverage. There's other moves you could run. Earthquake's really good. I wouldn't get rid of Earthquake, but you could run like, you could also run Aqua Tail instead of Waterfall. Waterfall has a chance to flinch though, and 100% accuracy, but Aqua Tail does more damage, so it's what you want. But you could also run like Iron Head or Power Whip. You can either run Iron Head, Outrage, or Power Whip instead of Crunch. Power Whip I don't like because it has a chance to miss, a pretty high chance to miss, and after you take the already hit, you Dragon Dance, there's a high chance of you getting KO'd from whatever they throw out next, so I don't like the chance of it missing. Iron Head's good for fairies. I would say Iron Head, Crunch. Iron Head, Crunch. I don't like Outrage. I don't like moves like Outrage with like Dragon Dance, because then you're kind of stuck into that move. Like, you set up just to get stuck into that move. Or Stone Edge. One of those 3. I just don't like having Outrage, because if they switch out into a fairy type especially, it's like, okay, or a Steel or something like that, you just wasted the Dragon Dance and the first hit and the Intimidate and all that. You could also run, this is one you could run where if you're gonna Dynamax, you switch them in, you Dragon Dance, you take the hit, and then you Dynamax. Bounce gives you speed. Aqua Tail will set the rain, which makes, I would say Aqua Tail over Waterfall here, because the more damage from Aqua Tail. So your Dynamax will do more damage. Bounce for the speed. I do say speedy, I say speedy nature because of Moxie. But you could run Adamant or Jolly. It doesn't really matter on this one as much because if you use Bounce. I like having Jolly though, because in case you don't use Bounce the first turn and you need the extra speed, because this outspeeds Dragapult. So you might need the speed, but not be able to use Bounce yet or whatever. So I like having the speedy nature. And Moxie will raise your attack every time anyway. Plus you already have the Dragon Dance, and you're already Dynamaxed. But I would say, and then in the last spot, I would run those 2 for the stab. In the last spot, either Earthquake, Power Whip's accuracy doesn't matter anymore. That does a ton. Same with Outrage. I would run Power Whip over Outrage. I wouldn't run Outrage though as much, just because it only hits Dragon super effective. But Power Whip's good. Earthquake's good in that last spot. Iron Tail, Stone Edge. Pretty much any physical move. I would run between those 4. I wouldn't really run Outrage between those 4. Honestly, probably Power Whip's the best one. Also, it sets grassy terrain, which doesn't really affect you, just something to know. But, like, this is what he does, especially with that Dynamite. He outspeeds Dragapult with the +1 speed from the Dragon Dance. And then, does he not? Maybe he doesn't know. I guess it doesn't really matter if you run it or not. Yeah, you outspeed. I was looking at this number and I was really confused. Yeah, you outspeed with the Jolly Nature. That's why I like running it over with the Dynamax. At least I like running it. If you one shot with bounce, like even if you don't run Crunch, you outspeed or you one shot Dragapult with bounce, and you get a +1. But just in case, if he has any health or whatever, Crunch. But he also can take a hit. Like he's so bulky, he can do Dynamax. He's not too, and he can take a hit back, like a Draco Meteor or whatever. And if he's Dynamax, it'll do even less. Like look, 30%. Like as long as you don't get shredded that first hit, especially if the first hit when you Dragon Dance is special, you're really good for the Dynamax. You could also run like a bulky Garchomp. I bet Gyarados with an Assault Vest, max health, max defense, Impish, with Intimidate to lower their attack even more when you switch in. But Crunch, you could also run Moxie, I guess, or if you just want to be a more special tank, you could just run special defense tank. You could just run max special defense, whatever nature this is. Careful, just to be as bulky as you can in special attackers. You could do that, but it's a more balanced. I like this as a more balanced tank because the Assault Vest raises your defense, special defense, so it's even more to your defense. And his health is so much. For this, you pretty much just want to run coverage, honestly. Crunch, Earthquake, Aqua Tail. You can run Power Whip. I wouldn't really, again, I don't like Power Whip because if you miss, you kind of don't KO at that point. Like this is a good 1-for-1 or just to take it out. I would run Aqua Tail though over Waterfall. You could run Waterfall just for the accuracy, but there's no chance to flinch, so the extra damage kind of means a little bit more. Also, you could run Avalanche or Payback instead of whatever you want to get rid of, honestly. But Avalanche and Payback just because they double damage. Because they'll do double damage that turn. So Avalanche will do 120 and Payback will do 100 damage if you get hit, which you should. Because you're tankier, so you're going to take the hit. Dragon Tail if you want to switch them out. Because you're going to be slower most of the time anyway. So Dragon Tail just to switch them out. And Facade if they try to Toxic you or whatever. Just to do extra damage. Like if you can tell they're going to Thunder Wave or they're going to hit you with Status or whatever, you might as well just Facade. Because it'll do 140. And some of the other things he can do, he has Taunt and Thunder Wave and Toxic if you want to run them. Especially Thunder Wave's really good because you can Thunder Wave to stop them. You could Thunder Wave, Dragon Dance, and then try to sweep with Waterfall and another move. Could try that. Attract just is another thing. You could Thunder Wave Attract and just run damage. Yeah, just run max speed probably and just try to use damage, attack, attract, Thunder Wave. I said I don't like Outrage. Also Swagger, the same thing with Swagger. But the one thing about Gyarados that does suck is Gyarados gets really good special moves. Like his amazing special coverage: Blizzard, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Flamethrower, and Fire Blast, Hurricane, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam. He gets a lot of special moves. Muddy Water, Scald, Thunderbolt. He gets such great special moves. It sucks that he has such a low special attack. But yeah, that's the one downfall to Gyarados. But this was also bulk Gyarados too. I know Garchomp isn't in Sword and Shield, but it's just to show how bulky he is. Like even with a rock type move, this is with the Intimidate and stuff. But like with the rock type move, max special defense with the defensive nature, this shows how bulky he is. Because he survives. He has a chance. Garchomp has a chance to 3-hit KO a chance to 3-hit KO. And Gyarados also has a. You could also run Ice Fang, because Gyarados is in the DLC. If you want, you can run Ice Fang instead of Power Whip. Ice Fang would work really well here. But like even with something like this, you can hit him with super effective. Like with the bulk Gyarados, if you hit him super effective, you'll tank their hit and take them out and you two-shot pretty much everything. But that's how to use Gyarados in Pokemon Sword and Shield.